everyone. Welcome back to English Language Journey. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben.
We're so happy you're here. Today, we're going to help you tell better stories in English using simple but powerful narrative connectors.
Have you ever started telling a story and suddenly felt stuck? Maybe you said, "Yesterday I went to the park. Then, after that, then..." Your English is correct, but your story doesn't sound very exciting.
That's because great storytellers don't just use good vocabulary, they know how to connect their ideas smoothly.
Today we're learning one of the biggest secrets behind natural storytelling: narrative connectors.
These small words can make your English sound more natural, more confident, and much more engaging.
Imagine you're watching a movie. Every scene connects perfectly. One moment creates another. Nothing feels random. Stories work the same way. Narrative connectors are the small words that guide listeners through your story. Instead of sounding like separate sentences, your story becomes one smooth journey.
Today, we'll use connectors like meanwhile, suddenly, eventually, consequently, however, therefore, as a result, at that moment, later on, in the end. These tiny words make a huge difference. Let's hear a story first. Ben, tell us one.
Sure. I woke up late. I missed my bus. I called a taxi. The traffic was heavy. I arrived late. My boss looked angry. I apologized. Everything became okay. That's the story.
It's easy to understand, but it feels flat. Every sentence stands alone. There's no emotion, no suspense, no rhythm. Let's improve it.
Listen carefully. I woke up late. Consequently, I missed my bus. Meanwhile, heavy traffic filled every road. As a result, my taxi moved incredibly slowly. Eventually, I reached the office. However, my boss was already waiting. I apologized sincerely. In the end, everything worked out.
Same story, almost the same vocabulary. But now, it sounds like someone who's confident in English. Let's learn our first connector. Meanwhile. It means at the same time. Two things are happening together.
Emma was preparing dinner. Meanwhile, her brother was decorating the living room.
Both actions happened at the same time. Examples. I studied for my exam. Meanwhile, my friends watched movies. Sarah cleaned the kitchen. Meanwhile, Dad washed the car. The children played outside. Meanwhile, Mom prepared lunch.
Now let's create excitement. Suddenly. It means without warning.
We were hiking quietly through the forest. Suddenly, we heard a loud roar.
Immediately, everyone stopped walking. The atmosphere changed completely. Examples. Suddenly, the lights went out. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Suddenly, my phone started ringing.
Sometimes stories take time. That's where eventually helps. It means finally, after some time or effort.
We searched for our lost dog for 3 hours. Eventually, we found him sleeping under a tree.
Notice, the journey feels longer before reaching the ending. Stories become interesting when something unexpected happens. That's why we use however. It introduces contrast.
Everyone believed the weather would stay sunny. However, dark clouds appeared within minutes.
One simple word changes the direction of the story.
This connector sounds advanced, but it's actually simple. Consequently means because of that.
Jake forgot to charge his laptop. Consequently, he couldn't finish his presentation.
One action caused another.
This is similar to consequently. It explains the result.
Emma practiced English every day. As a result, she became much more confident.
Cause, then effect.
This connector sounds formal. You'll hear it in presentations, meetings, news reports, and even documentaries.
The road was closed. Therefore, we chose another route.
Want your listeners to imagine the exact second something happened? Use at that moment.
I was opening the old treasure box. At that moment, my phone rang loudly.
Now your audience can picture everything.
Sometimes we jump forward in time. Instead of saying, after that, again and again, say, later on.
We enjoyed the picnic by the lake. Later on, we watched the sunset together.
Every good story needs a satisfying ending. That's where in the end comes in.
The journey was difficult. We got lost twice. We almost gave up. But, in the end, we reached the mountain peak.
Now let's put everything together. Listen carefully. Notice how each connector guides the story.
Last Saturday, Emma and I decided to visit an old lighthouse by the sea. The weather looked perfect. Meanwhile, tourists were arriving from every direction. Everything felt peaceful. Suddenly, strong winds began blowing. People started running toward nearby shelters. Consequently, the road to the lighthouse was closed. We weren't ready to give up. Therefore, we chose a longer walking trail. The climb was tiring. However, the beautiful ocean view kept us motivated. We walked for nearly an hour. Eventually, we reached the top. At that moment, the clouds opened and sunlight shone across the sea. It was one of the most beautiful sights we'd ever seen. We took dozens of photos. Later on, we found a small cafe overlooking the water and enjoyed hot chocolate while watching the waves. In the end, the unexpected weather made the adventure even more memorable.
Let's review everything quickly. Meanwhile, at the same time, suddenly, something unexpected happens. Consequently, because of what happened before. Therefore, for that reason. However, introduces contrast or an unexpected change. Eventually, finally, after some time. As a result, shows the outcome of an action. At that moment. Describes the exact time something happened. Later on, moves the story forward in time. In the end, finishes the story naturally.
Now it's your turn. Create a short story using these 5 connectors. Suddenly. Meanwhile. However. Eventually. In the end. Your story can be about schoolwork, travel, a funny mistake, a family memory, a dream, a camping adventure, anything you like.
Write your story in the comments below. We love reading your creative ideas, and you might even inspire other English learners.
Remember, fluent English isn't only about knowing more words. It's about connecting your ideas so people enjoy listening to you.
Practice these connectors every day, and you'll notice your stories become smoother, clearer, and much more engaging. If you enjoyed today's lesson, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to English Language Journey, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode.
Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Keep telling amazing stories, and we'll see you in the next lesson.